Hey, what's up everybody? Tarafdar back with a brand new video. Today I really want to concentrate on the element of why you're not progressing in credit repair, why you're not getting the results, and what are some of the things that might be harming your ability to get the outcomes. Now let's first discuss what's happening, right? On a base level, I think what's happening quite a bit is that a lot of people feel that they're trapped because the credit reporting agencies are not really paying attention to your letters. And in fact, you might have company hopped from one credit repair company to another, trying to get results, trying to get outcomes, but you're not being successful because you feel that those outcomes are not necessarily realistic, right? And you're getting dragged along for months on end without getting the outcome that you're looking for. So I'm going to give you some strategies today, right? I want you to really pay attention to these because deep down, I think that you know for a fact that you can possibly get the outcome yourself, but you're unsure of the moves to make. So I want to give you the confidence and the ability to look within when it comes to looking for answers for credit repair. See, a lot of people get confused. They're not sure what moves to make next, and they're holding themselves back from really creating the goals that they want. So today, we're going to go ahead and basically demystify all that and try to give you some strategies and tools that you can use to get the best outcomes when it comes to fixing your personal credit. So the first thing we need to address is, why is it that your letters are getting kickbacks? Why is it that every time you try to reach out to the credit reporting agencies and you're trying to get your credit fixed, that you're getting kickbacks? And the reality is, it's because one of the most important things that we kind of ignore is that the system itself, eOscar, when you're sending out a letter to eOscar, what's happening is if there's a comment there, which a lot of negative items, if you've been trying to dispute or take them off, or if you've been trying to fight them for a while now, a lot of these negative items have a connotation to it, and that basically has a comment in that section where it says, consumer disputed this account, but the creditor has verified this to be accurate. So let me tell you why this happens. Number one, right? The biggest thing when it comes to that is that creditors typically press a button and automatically verify through the AUD form, which is the universal data form that they submit to the credit reporting agencies back. So a typical investigation is basically when your letters are scanned through the eOscar, and sometimes eOscar uses these conditions, these compliance conditions and these codes that they put in to automate most of the disputing process in the investigation. And the reason why, it's because time and time again, the general population, if they find inaccurate information in reference to their personal credit, or in the past, what happens was a lot of this data is kind of similar. A lot of this data is a set of information that was accumulated over the past and has been used as a template to kind of solve your credit reporting challenges and issues. So when you're faced with that, and when you have to essentially fight the system because you have a comment there that says the creditor has verified this to be accurate, you're actually fighting against the clock. And this is a big problem for a lot of people because they're trying to get the results that they're looking for, but are unable to move forward, even hiring companies, for example, right? And the reason why, it's because a lot of these people, and especially these companies that I'm not going to bring up any names, or you probably know who you're dealing with here. But a lot of these companies drag out not only the letter writing process of getting information taken care of for you when it comes to credit reporting, but also they drag out the outcomes that they can create for you. And this on its own is an incredibly dangerous position to be in. And the reason I say that is because you're supposed to get outcomes by paying a company. It doesn't matter if it's a monthly fee and it takes several months to realize the outcome. The goal is every single month you're supposed to have progression. Now that's the first thing. The second thing though is these companies are essentially sending out templated letters, restructuring their letters, rewording it per se, and using the same information when it comes to challenging and or disputing, and are fighting also as you would if you were typically going ahead and dispute the same information. They're fighting it the same way you would have been fighting it, and essentially they're not getting the outcomes that they need. And this is very true for a lot of people out there. So what is it that we can potentially do when it comes to that, right? So the first thing is, obviously, these comments are holding it back. You have these generic comments that are on your credit reports. Every single item has them, especially when it comes to disputing them. So the first thing you need to do is you need to challenge those comments. So that means you need to pick up the phone, number one, and call the credit reporting agencies and tell them that you'd like to remove those comments. And the reason why I say that is because this is probably going to be the first step on moving forward with a new action plan. If you don't remove those comments, chances are you're going to have a system that's going to automatically re-verify information. And there is no prerogative for the credit reporting agencies to look into your information further, because they were going to take the word of their creditor on top of yours. And the reason why is because the creditor has already verified a lot of these items, right? So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to contact the credit reporting agencies and you need to take off those comments. Now, here's what's going to happen when you actually do that. Number one, the credit reporting agency are going to ask you, so do you accept that this is your item, or why do you want us to take this off? So in these type of situations, chances are that you're going to get questioned for that process. So be prepared for that. And the answer that I want you to really take care of and give when it comes to these type of responses is, I no longer wish to dispute or challenge this. Please remove my comment. You're not saying you're accepting that, but rather you're saying, I no longer wish to dispute or challenge these items. Please remove the comments, right? And once you're done with that, across all the 3 credit reporting agencies, they're essentially reporting this misleading, inaccurate, potentially erroneous data that's basically misleading everybody else when it comes to credit. Then only can you move forward with your next step, right? So that's the first thing you need to do. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why you're hitting roadblocks and why you're not getting the outcomes that you aspire to get. The second thing you need to concentrate on is past that point, when you've taken care of all this. And I would say to go as far as look at the credit repair company that you engaged for your services. And if you're paying monthly, and ask them, hey, as part of our agreement, I'd like to see what specifically was done on my behalf. And if they're refusing to give you that, you can definitely cancel service. You're not going to fight them, right? Because they're actually getting the outcomes, hopefully. But if they refuse to provide you with any type of structure or an explanation of exactly what was done and what steps they've taken, I would immediately cease doing business with them. Now, I'm not trying to do this to get credit repair businesses out of the game. I'm simply stating that you as a customer, back in the days, people can get sloppy. They can do bare minimum and get the results. But these days, when it comes to personal credit, especially when it comes to fixing it, we cannot compromise, right? We cannot be sloppy. So it is your right and it is your duty as a customer to ask for specific account level information and specific strategy level information in reference to what was done with your file. Then the reason I say this is so important is because a lot of people let it go as it goes, right? So essentially they cross their fingers and hope for the best. And if you hope for the best, chances are, you might get some pretty decent outcomes. But at the end of the day, you don't even know why you're getting them. And if you're not getting them, you're essentially not sure as to why you're not getting the results, right? So as I explained to you, obviously the comments really hurt your ability to get the desired outcomes. The other thing is, if a strategy has been repeated multiple times and there was no issue in the past, there can be an issue now. And the reason why, it's because there's something called a frivolous dispute. So when that happens, the credit reporting agencies simply state that your claim is frivolous, and they can actually block you from further disputing. That's the first thing. And second, getting the outcomes that you need. So in order to prevent that, you need to find out the structure in which your credit repair company has used when it comes to trying to fix your file. This is a very critical part of getting the results. If you don't pay attention to this specific point, anything you do further can hurt you. Even though you've taken off those comments and stopped the system from automation, the mere fact that you might be sending a similar, if not the same template, can put you in a frivolous status by your next move. So in order to prevent these type of issues and challenges or potentially damaging your file further, you need to understand what was done. And the reason I say this is so important, like I said, is because you need to be on the know-how. If you don't, then you're crippling your ability to get any type of desired outcome and reasonable results. So that's the steps that I want you to really follow when it comes to fixing your personal credit, right? So if that answers your question in reference to, hey, why am I getting these kickback letters? Why am I not getting the results that I need? What's happening with my credit repair efforts? Why is it taking so many months on end while me paying this company on a monthly basis to get the results? Why am I not getting those results? And why has it been, several months with the same information coming back verified again and again? So that should tell you specifically as to why this is happening. Number one, these comments and statements are hurting your ability to get a proper request of investigation. And number two, the same information being sent over and over again is a rhyme for reason for the credit reporting agencies to state that you're attempts of reinvestigation and disputing are considered frivolous. They have the right to do that. So if you want to avoid all these type of issues and challenges, I strongly invite you to follow the steps that are labeled out for you. So I hope that answers some of your questions, and definitely look forward to putting out more videos like these to help you guys get more content in reference to and some clarity in reference to some of the stuff that you're going through when it comes to your credit journey, some of the potholes that you're potentially hitting, or some confusion that needs some clarity. I'm here for that, and I'll be providing you that with no issue whatsoever. Now, if you're new to this channel and you've been watching me for a while and you've been following me, I'd ask you to consider subscribing and turning the notifications on to all, so every time there's new videos, live streams, and more, you'll be the first to know. And with that said, if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave some feedback below. Let me know what else you'd like to know. If you have a specific question in reference to what I just described, feel free to leave it in the comment section of this video. And as always, this is your guide and mentor, Ali Tarafdar. I'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.